Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel. My name is Liz and I'm a reseller in Maryland. Sometimes as resellers, we make a trip to an estate sale or a thrift store and we sort of regret wasting our time and maybe a little bit of money. But in this case, a very slow start to this thrift trip turned into my thrifting score of a lifetime. I can't wait to show you, so let's go check it out. So I love to check the vases at this store because some of you have seen what I have found here, and I was super excited about this mixed metals vase until I saw the $30 price tag, which is probably about what I would ask for it in the booth. So it did not come home with me, spoiler alert. This had an interesting glaze, but I felt that it was an amateur glaze, so I left it behind. And I don't often buy this style of piece, but I was drawn to it and could have possibly made some money. This I put in my cart because I was drawn to the leaf motif and realized that I've bought plenty of pieces like this that haven't made me any money. And spoiler alert, I put it back later. This color was really nice. And then I picked it up and saw how huge it was and decided that it had a very specific aesthetic and I did not want to ship it. And so for $7.50, I did put it back. I guess I could have put it in the booth, but I'm not sure that the people who frequent my booth would be drawn to that. Not sure. So this also caught my eye. It has mid-century modern lines, but be careful nowadays because there are some very good copycats. This is IKEA for $4.50. If I wanted it for myself, I would have bought it. I love cobalt blue glass, but I've sat on these glasses before, so I decided to pass them up for, I think it was $8.50 for the set. But I could have made some money eventually if I wanted to wait around. And I was kind of drawn to this pattern, this motif. I don't know if lavender clothesline was being channeled through me on this day. These trays used to sell for me. This motif I did not think was going to be very desirable, so I did not bring them home, even though they were in pretty good shape. I got super excited when I saw this. You could tell it was quality. Then I see it's Sam Edelman. I see it's new with tags. I'm super thrilled. I'm checking it out, like, what's wrong with it? Absolutely nothing. You can tell how excited I am. It's $50. The comp's around $65. It stayed in the store. Good buy for someone else though. This piece felt really nice. I looked it up in the store and the comps weren't there, so I left it behind. It was kind of like a wrap cardigan almost. I will show you things I brought home. This Bowden cardigan is one of them, and I will share comps with you later in the video. So this piece caught my eye right away with the button embellishment. Victor Costa is a brand I love. This is new old stock, new with tags. But new old stock. And yes, of course, it did come home with me. I can't wait to show you that later. What an amazing piece that was. I wanted to see the original tags and see how much it cost originally. And it was crazy. And here is the best thrift find I've ever had. I can't wait to share more about it with you later in the video. Thank goodness I had this crazy pattern, which caught my eye, $7.50. Cute little blouse. This actually felt really nice in spite of the fact that it was, the vintage era that might have been polyester, but it felt really nice in the hand, so that came home. And if you've been with the channel, you know I can't resist Benetton, so here's a Benetton sweater for $6.50. This piece did not make it home with me because even though it was a cool 90s windbreaker, $8, the comp was $25. I passed on that. This Macintosh confused me when I tried to comp it out because they were like $500 brand new, but used they were like $25 to $30, so a $30 price tag in the thrift store is a big no. So I'm into my animal print era. So here I was, Newport News. I think that was an expensive catalog I could not afford to shop at in the past, but the comp did not warrant me picking it up. Moda International, I believe, is affiliated with Victoria's Secret, and the comp was about $24, so at $8.50, it stayed in the store. And finally, I love this Esprit jacket, and I decided it had to come home with me. So I am going to go through a haul just in case there was something that wasn't caught on film or you wanted to see some items more closely and find out more about them. I did try to show almost everything I bought, but rather than just insert comps, I figured I'd walk you through everything. So this Esprit little cropped number kind of reminds me of the curly lamb coats that were popular in the mid-century era that are usually black, a little longer than this. This is like a very dark chocolate brown. I thought this was vintage. When I was in high school, Esprit was all the rage and I couldn't afford it. My friend Amy, God bless her, used to give me her hand-me-downs, which probably weren't very old because she had so many nice pieces. And I can't kind of let go of that nostalgia. But this, I believe, is a modern Esprit piece. They did recently, I Googled this, start making clothing again, which I didn't know. Let me know in the comments if you knew that. I did not know that, but I still think for $9.50, the comps out there, both the comps I found were about $75. So still a good buy, even if it's not a vintage piece. So this piece, this blouse, it's not perfect, but I think it's an easy little fix. It's missing a couple buttons, but it's got this bow at the neckline. I actually really love this sort of like speckled granite print. I love this. It's so like neutral, but in an exciting way. It's got beautiful little cuffs. I think this says Soir and Helen Fabricant. I paid $5.50. This isn't a huge flipper, but I still think this will sell in my booth relatively quickly for $15 to $25. So I did pick that up, and the style of it, everything about it really did draw me in. I couldn't help myself, even if it wasn't a huge flip. All right, so this little jacket is kind of 80s, 90s as well. It's got this color block, a little bit of an animal print going on, these faux tortoise buttons. This was $8.29. This is Sandra Sardis. And this was a nice little pickup. I think this style is back, whether you're a career-oriented woman or maybe like, what do they call them on Jack Valentine's show? The girlies. I think this little crop jacket's super cute. So the comp says, yeah, it's worth it. I think it was around 30 to 50. There was a range. So I can't remember if I found this exact jacket. So let me switch to the next table of items. Okay, so here's table 2. It was interesting because, you know, I included some hard goods footage, but spoiler alert, if you skipped that, I didn't get very much from the hard goods. In fact, I think I picked up one item that's actually not a hard item. But anyway, that might have been in the toy section. I don't remember. So I grabbed this Izod cardigan. This reminds me of like a professor or something. I kind of want to wear this today with this, the way it's got the V-neck and the button down. I don't know. I feel like I should be a professor wearing this. This was $5.99. The comp's about 30 to 40. It needs a little deep pilling. That should be easy enough. Maybe I'll sell it for less as is. I haven't decided. I got to try this on. If I'm going to be the professor in this, or if it will go in the booth or maybe online. I have to decide the right platform, whether it's me or am I selling it to myself or am I selling it to someone else, somewhere else? This was one of my very favorites because something about this is my love language. I think it's because I love black and white and I love buttons, and it's all embellished with these like mother of pearl buttons. This is so amazing. I think this is probably 80s. It could be 90s. I'm not 100% sure here. It says it's a size 6. Let's look at the original tag. That's always a good time. Ooh, the tag looks real old. Look at the original price. Steinmart, the original price was $150, marked down to $90. That's in the past. Let's see what we paid for it. I think I forgot. So I did pay $15, but it's got the tag still on it. Made in the Ukraine. Beautiful little jacket. I would wear that with anything. Over a dress with cute slacks, a long skirt. Amazing piece. That will probably go online because of its condition. I would hate to have someone rip off the tags in the booth accidentally when they were trying it on or something, and then it's no longer new old stock, you know, or new with tags. I think that increases its value. So that's how I'll make the decision on that. So let me just kind of fold this over so we have a little more space. Now, this is not a piece that showed up on video as I recall. Sometimes I don't even remember. Who is it? It's one of the other YouTubers I watch, talks about blackout shopping. Now, to be fair, this was in December and it is now the middle of January because I get backlogged with items and footage and hauls and everything. I do love this sweater. These these toggle type clasps always remind me of Paddington Bear. Isn't it his little coat, his little pea coat that has that? Anyway, something about this colorway, everything about this to me reminded me of like the 80s, early 90s. So I couldn't find much. Angles by Pandora. Now, I don't think that's modern. That looks like an old tag. Can you leave me a comment if you find anything out about Angles by Pandora? I think I might have looked it up before Christmas, but I didn't find anything about it when I was officially doing comps. But for $8.99, I'll either wear this, because this would be really cozy, or I'll put it in the booth, and I think it would sell in the booth easily for $25, just because it's a cool vintage piece, not because that name necessarily means much. On to the next. Okay, so this is a really nice, soft, kind of thick, but not too heavy zipper front cardigan. I'm a big fan of the zipper front. You don't get that weird gapping. No buttons go flying across the room. You're not busting out, so to speak. So this is made in Italy. It's Benetton. Benetton is another brand that I really wanted to wear in high school. I don't know if I ever did actually. $6.50. This is probably worth, I'm gonna say $40 to $50. It needs a little bit of detailing. So I'll have to decide based on its condition. I think it's gonna have to go online. I'm not 100% sure how old this is. It's a little bit hard to identify a particular piece of clothing when it's not like that Victor Costa piece with all the buttons. This is not going to really stimulate Google Lens to find it. Do you know what I mean? Because there are lots of cranberry colored kind of merle yarn sweaters out there that have the style. So I'll have to do a little more investigating, but a nice pickup for $6.50, whether it's worth $30 or $50. So I was happy. This is the only sort of hard good that I picked up. He's a little bit hard on the bottom. Oh, I didn't realize he needs a battery. I wonder what he does. I hope he does something. Anyway, this is a little Scooby. He's very interesting because at first I thought he was a Halloween Scooby, and he's dressed as a ghost. Oh, he's dressed as a snowman. Oh, see? See, now naturally, you might not know this. I'm naturally blonde. I wasn't born with pink hair. And I do have these moments where I can't put it all together. I'm sorry if you're a blonde. It's just a joke. But I do have moments like that, and I don't know what that comes from because I consider myself a relatively intelligent person. But anyway, yeah, I thought he was dressed as a ghost. Well, he's a snowman, and he has his little top hat, and Google Lens said he's worth like $25. Maybe that's only if he works. I'll have to test him out. But I did grab him for $1.50. He's probably worth $1.50 whether he works or not. I just could tell that this was a quality piece, this open weave cardigan by Bowden. Probably worth about $30. And I paid up for this. You know, sometimes you get like, what happens is you kind of warm up the pocketbook and the money flows out of it so smoothly. Do you ever have that happen where the hits keep coming and so you just keep buying? It's a little bit like gambling, right? You don't want to give up on the slot machine when it's paying out, but still worth it. I think this would sell in the booth for $25. This is a really timeless piece. I'm wondering if I should keep this. I have a lot of clothing, you guys. Anyway, cute piece. Bowden does make quality things. The last thing is the best thing, and I want it to have its own table, so hang in there. Okay, it's a good thing you guys didn't hear me swooning, moaning, and gasping at the beauty of this piece. Well, it's a set. Check this out. Now, I love black and white, but this black and yellow is everything. This pattern is amazing. The way this feels, I really can't quite communicate. It feels so soft and silky and like luxe. So this caught my eye because I'm trying to remember if it was the jacket or the skirt. This was kind of like this 80s print to me. I'm really stuck in the 80s. I like this pattern mixing. I think that Patrice would approve. And I did not know this name because I'm really not a clothing reseller. I mean, do I resell clothing? Yes. Do I identify as a clothing reseller? Not really. But when I Googled, do you pronounce it Ted Lapidus or is it Lapidus? It doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's still worth hundreds of dollars. I couldn't find this exact set in my previous research. If I do find it, I'll put it up in the comps. Wesley's getting a drink. But guys, it was $7.50. I want you to look at this tag. Yes, I know it says Ted Lapidus, but it says Boutique Haute Couture, Paris, made in France. Sorry. Sometimes when I'm reading stuff, I forget I need to read it through my phone. Anyway, I thought that this was amazing. I thought it was amazing, not knowing it was couture. So this trip to the thrift store might be like $1,000 trip. It is crazy. And that's why I think it's so addictive, because you never know when you're going to find something. You never know when that slot machine is going to pay off. Look at the shoulder pads. I don't think this was ever worn. It is amazing. Nipped in at the waist. So beautiful. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you guys enjoyed this video. If you like estate sales or yard sales, please check out my other videos. We're in the thick of winter here, so I can't always go to an estate sale, and I definitely can't go to yard sales right now, but I have a wide range of videos, including some tutorials. So scan through. I think I probably have at least 100 videos. I should check that you might enjoy. So I am working on my playlist, so it's a little easier to find the types of things you like, if you like just hauls, for example. But I hope you guys go out there, you find some amazing haute couture, hard goods, soft goods, I don't care, as long as they pay cold hard cash, right? I always hope that you guys never stop searching, and I will see you guys next time.